All right. It says we're live.
It lies. Yes, plans so cunning you could pin a tail on it and call it a weasel. Um, let's see here. Where was I? Doing this stuff. Oops, wrong one. Shit.
What are you looking for?
Anyway, um, if you want to keep us nailed down because we're under a tornado, something or other, donate money here.
Try that one.
If you like good coffee, and what non-communist doesn't like good coffee, check out these guys, especially their blanket Portland. It's really good stuff. I think that's it.
I think that's it today. It's a light day.
It's a light day. Oh, okay. So, is Nancy on here?
Not yet.
We
Okay,
until
we wait
she
till
shows
Nancy.
up.
We wait till Nancy shows up. Nancy sent us something.
Be
Let's see
afraid.
here.
Be very,
Be very afraid. So, LibertyCon is headed this way pretty quick.
Oh, Nancy is here.
Nancy is here. There she is. Okay, so Nancy sent us something. I'm choosing to think those are foxes.
They are foxes. That is wonderful.
Foxes. All right. Dear Blanket Fort, you have to think of this in soprano ones. As my husband Gordon toiled in the halls of swag as a merchant of death, he chanced upon an amazing morale patch that personifies my relationship with costuming and sewing in general. For some reason, I felt Jonna should have one as well. Well, now she does.
That is awesome.
Then he handed me two others, which are both representative of the spicy attitude of Jim and Ian. I'm not sure how to take that. You guys can arm wrestle for who gets which.
Oh,
Nancy says I'm a Japanese stationery addict. Yeah, that's Japanese stationery.
Oh, so Lieutenant Danger, which I think is Jim.
I think that one's Jim.
And
I've seen that smile on his face.
yeah, I have too. I think this is supposed to be a kangaroo, but I'm choosing to think it's probably a fox.
Close enough.
Yeah.
Kangaroo, springy fox. I mean,
It's a boing fox. Yes.
Thank you very much,
The
Nancy.
company who sent the swag, Savior Equipment, makes some nice gear. Gordon gave me one of their med pouches for Christmas. And it's pretty swanky. I can now plug holes in style. Miss you guys. Next year at the Writers Cantina. Cheers, Nancy Fry. Yes, next year. I think it's kind of nice that a husband gives his wife a
med kit.
a medical kit for Christmas.
So she can
Really
take
nice.
care of him.
It's really
That's
nice.
what we wives do.
Well, when you consider what Gordon plays with for
I'm
fun,
kidding.
She probably had to plug holes in him before.
Right?
yeah, plugging holes in people does occur occasionally, probably by request.
Not going there. Not going there.
I didn't go there.
Kelly, the couple that tourniquets together stays together. Yes.
Well, in other news,
And there's a lot of it.
oh God, yes. The woman who was fired by Starbucks took them to federal court and got a compensatory of $600,000 and a punitive of $25 million.
For racism.
Yeah.
Because she's white, and they threw her under the bus because some of their people followed Starbucks company policy
Yep.
and got in a world of snot.
And she wasn't even there when
No.
this happened.
Nope.
Had nothing to do with it.
And someone somewhere said something stupid about the color of her skin. And if they had just fired her, it would have been fine.
Yeah.
But if they make a comment about her race, that's racism.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's-
but the
that's where they screwed
punitive
up.
is taxable. $25 million is taxable.
And I think the
Even
punitive.
after taxes, that's a nice chunk of change.
Yeah, well, I
Yeah.
think the punitive may be a bit above the.
No, it's federal.
There's not a limit on federal
No.
punitive damage. Oh,
But
yeah.
yeah, this is a smack across the face for Starbucks. but it's less than half of what they make on a given day.
Well, yes, but still, it's a nice
Shot
Cor-
across the bow.
it's nice
It's
nice
big
precedent.
enough to make them notice. Because
Yeah.
if it was 2.5 million, they'd just be like, go
Yeah.
away.
Yeah.
Sweep it right under the rug. This makes a little lump under that rug.
Well,
Yeah.
not only that, but this they tried to arbitrate,
Oh, yeah.
and she went
And they
ahead.
still will. I mean, she's not going to
Oh,
get this money in
Oh,
her
she'll get
natural
eventually.
lifetime.
Depends on how if she sticks to her gun, she will.
Yeah.
They'll try to arbitrate and make deals. In other news,
Well, there's one more,
go ahead.
and that's Facebook. Amazon locked out a guy.
Yes, they did.
And
Woo! Boy, they screwed. I don't think Amazon realizes how bad they screwed the pooch on that one.
well, and not only that, they lost the court suit. And it was for $50,000.
Oh, we're not talking about the guy they shut out of his house?
Yeah.
He
They've
has
already gone to a court suit.
He can't-
on that?
Yeah.
They've had time.
It was over.
like-
No, this is a guy that was locked out of his account.
Account.
Oh.
I'm talking about the guy that Amazon locked him out of his house.
Oh, I'll let you have that one.
Not two of us.
So anyway, this guy gets locked out of his Facebook account for nothing. They never respond to him. So he takes them to court. They lose. They got hit for $50,000. He wasn't asking for a lot. He just wanted it back in his account.
Back in his account.
Well, they lost the suit and they have yet to pay it.
Oh,
They've opened his account back up to him.
they're not going to give him any money. They'll dodge. If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a lawsuit.
Yeah, but will be interesting to see what happens when the court goes, excuse me.
Hey.
Yeah.
Because they're liable to tack boo-boo fees on top of that.
Mm-hmm. You think? And now the guy.
I got two. First one is over Memorial Day weekend, five or 6 days over the Memorial Day weekend. He got this. He's a kid. He's got to be a kid because he has built himself a smart house.
Idiot.
He's built himself a smart house, and he has connected the entirety of his smart house. Apparently, everything that can be smart is thermostat, fridge, TV. Everything is controlled via his Amazon Echo interface. Also, he's got cameras and microphones everywhere. Gotta be
Including the locks, yes.
Everything is. It's a smart house. Apparently, it's the house of the future, which I dread. Anywho, nice Wednesday night. He and I guess family or whatever his social unit were off doing family things, and Amazon Echo is an Amazon account. Now, bearing in mind, he has purchased all of this stuff. The Amazon Echoes, apparently there's more than one. The Amazon he has purchased. He's not leasing them. They're not loaned. He's not renting them. He has bought them with his own money, receipts and all. Anyway, so an Amazon driver apparently wearing headphones delivers something. This guy's got one of those doorbells, the ring sort of. It's not ring, but it's a ring adjacent doorbell where it records everything and has a pre-programmed greeting.
Yes.
Which in this case was, "Excuse me, can I help you?" Well, the Amazon delivery driver, through his earphones, heard a racial slur. Went back to his truck and reported it. Amazon went, "Oh my God," and as a faceless megacorp, shut down his Amazon account and all of his Amazon devices, through which he controls his smart home.
And oh, by the way, he was not even home at the time.
Nope, they were out. They were gone. Fortunately, like I said, he's got cameras and microphones everywhere, recorded the whole thing. Amazon shut his Echoes down, shut his account down, and then we called. They said, "Oh, you should have an email." So he looks. By God, he has an email with a number in it. Calls a number and gets accused of being racist. And then on a he said, not back and forth, just on the word of his Amazon driver with his fucking headphones on, shut him down from everything. shut off his personally owned devices that controlled his personally owned home,
And locked the doors.
apparently. So about 5 days later, they completed their investigation. They're a mega corporation. They don't get to investigate other people. They don't get, okay, here in Texas, if you prevent somebody from enjoying the benefits of his own purchased stuff, we call that theft. It's a criminal offense. I don't imagine wherever he is, it's any different. So anyway, they took 5 days to hand him everything back, doing an investigation which is not in their purview. This is a criminal investigation. You have denied somebody civil rights, which they did, to conduct an investigation. That makes it a criminal investigation. That's not in their purview, period.
Not in their perfume either.
Not in their perfume either. Shutting off somebody's house full of the stuff they purchased by shutting off. Now I can see, and this guy says he can, all right, you got your lavender scented fifis up in an uproar. Nobody delivers this guy until we sort it out. That's completely understandable.
Yeah.
And that's within the purview of the corporation to not deliver anything. Shutting off access to his house, not so much. I think they done stepped on Mr. Happy.
Well, the thing is, and a couple of people pointed out in the chat, he doesn't own the services behind it.
And that doesn't matter. They shut off his house.
They shut off the services. What was connected to the services is not their problem.
Well, that's the thing. I don't think that, well, maybe. Anyway.
No, it's not, because
we don't know how he set up the house.
everything was connected via the AWS.
Apparently that's up. Apparently it's connected through a Microsoft something or other.
No, it was AWS.
It would have to be AWS.
Yeah.
Everything is AWS these days.
Yeah.
He said
So they shut off the services, and that effectively locked him out of his own house.
Yep.
And no, he apparently did not have a key override, or didn't have the key with him.
So
He might have been in the house.
apparently, the reason why I don't think it was Amazon services is he's apparently going to yank all his Amazon stuff, replace it with Raspberry Pi.
Yeah.
Which is definitely not Amazon AWS supported.
No,
Which he should have done to begin with.
Right, because you can easily set all of that up with Arduino and Raspberries and Nano Pis.
Yeah.
They're tiny, and your own little in-home server, because it honestly isn't going to take that much to run all of that. I don't know a huge amount about it, but my son was into this stuff, and I did some research. Jeff Dunteman will be at LibertyCon. I'm really looking forward to meeting him, and he is the king
He's
of
an expert
Arduino.
at it.
Yeah, no, he started this thing, so be interesting to get his take on.
Lisa, there are supposed to be manual overrides, but most people never set them up.
Yeah, the same people that think that having your fridge be connected to the Internet of Things don't. Rita and I were talking about this earlier, and what you read or are supposed to read before clicking the I agree. Nobody outside of boomers and Gen X, nobody else reads the damn things.
Yeah.
They're too damn long on purpose.
They're too damn long and the print's too small. When I have to get a magnifying glass out to read the fucking thing,
And
pardon my language. Never mind. Screw it.
Fuck them. Are you guys in Hawaii? No, we're not in Hawaii. We're in Texas. So anyway,
Hawaiian shirts are covers for a multitude of sins.
yes, I can wear all sorts of stuff in my belt. Nobody knows I got it.
So what we're calling that. I'm sorry.
And Cedar is spicy today.
And Wally says, I'm a software licensing consultant. Always read the EULA.
Yeah.
EULA is end user licensing agreement, and that is a valid point.
Now Rita and I were talking about it, and it's on purpose. Nobody reads the EULA. Nobody that's not Gen X. The Gen Zs, millennials, they don't read it. They just go cycle through and click I agree.
Lisa, I'm going to guarantee you that fridge is also reporting to the manufacturer and or whomever else is
Oh, yeah.
paying for that every time the door is opened, etc.
The what? And
Brian,
Well-
really?
welcome to your cyberpunk dystopia.
Yeah.
Because if Amazon can shut off your house, your smart house, the government can do it twice as fast.
Yep.
And if they decide that you need to be confined to your house for whatever reason, COVID. Hello, Frank. Go fuck yourself. Sorry, I'm feeling spicy too. They can shut down. Once you have a smart house, they'll shut down the house. Once you have a smart car, and they decide that you have to stay in your house to prevent COVID Part 2, they'll shut that. You can't tell me Newsom won't flip the switch and giggle the entire time he's doing it.
Yeah.
It's like the new cars.
Yeah, Padre, the death of the automatic house. Because people are starting to wake up to this crap.
God, I hope so. On to other things. Have y'all heard the news out of formerly Great Britain?
Go ahead.
Formerly Great Britain has decided that there are apparently 7 things you should not be wearing to drive. Yeah, I know it's 7.
Okay.
Among those, you're not supposed to be wearing long skirts when you drive.
What?
You're not supposed to be wearing baggy jeans when you drive. You're not supposed to be wearing sandals or any open back shoes. You're not supposed to be wearing high heels. You're not supposed to be wearing sunglasses. And there's no shoes with a sole of less than 10 millimeters thickness. And if you are now an unsafe driver and are subject to fines. And His Majesty's government, bless their hearts, will go the extra mile to contact your insurance company and tell them you are an unsafe driver so they can jack your rates.
The heck was this brought on by?
Formerly Great Britain wants to make sure everybody's a safe driver.
Yeah, but I mean, okay,
Your long skirts can apparently get caught under the brake pedals.
it would have to be a really hecking long skirt because I wander around in ankle-length skirts and heels and can drive in both.
Yeah.
Although I will admit that once the heels get past about 3 inches, it's better to kick them off and not use them.
Holy
And I have kept car shoes in the vehicle when I was going to be wearing very high heels.
I know several women that
Yeah.
have sneakers or ballet flats.
Ballet
No ballet
flats.
flats.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
No ballet flats.
Why?
They're not thick enough.
Not thick enough. If there's a thorn in your car and you step on it, it goes through the.
What about the spider that drops in your lap? I mean, are you refining the spiders?
Yeah.
Because I know of at least one accident that was caused by the spider
Yeah.
that suddenly fell down from behind the windshield visor.
I know damage to the inside of trucks that happened because a spider fell off the.
Yeah, do they prohibit driving naked? Well, that might be your other choice.
Well, if ballet flats are too thin, then
Too thin.
yes,
It's got
naked is not going to pack
a
it.
less than 10 millimeter sole. So.
Yeah.
So, okay, you can drive naked, but you have to wear boots.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh no, the other one is heavy boots.
But it can't be heavy boots.
They can't be heavy boots.
So break out the dominatrix wear.
So there will be dominatrix where the heels alone are going to violate.
Probably, yeah. Never mind.
Heavy,
My last.
heavy boots are also verboten in Great Britain now, on a pain of £1,000 fine for each article you wear.
So is the next thing going to be the Sainsbury line of government-approved driving clothing?
Probably.
We're going to go back to the era where they put on the overalls over all their clothing in order to and wrapped up in stuff to drive. Also, not driving with sunglasses is more dangerous than driving with sunglasses.
Oh, yeah. We know that.
Apparently, they have an issue with going from light to dark, and all of a sudden you can't see because you're wearing sunglasses. So driving with sunglasses, £1,000 fine.
Really, what they're trying to do is make it so that nobody can drive.
Yeah.
They want everybody reliant on public transportation.
Also, something that's not common knowledge is sunglasses play Mary Hall with facial recognition software.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, that's the real bottom line.
Yeah.
Well, the Royal Army will have to change their combat boots, yeah. And Kelly goes, that means I can't wear my FM heels when I drive in Britain. And damn it, they made my calves look defined. Boy, you ain't right.
We've known that for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I want
yeah, and it's being rolled out. It's being rolled out as for the safety of the drivers, which is thank you COVID for people's safety. They did a trial run on the whole coronavirus hysteria, and they found out that there's a significant portion of the population that as long as it's for your safety, hell yeah, put that boot on my neck. It's
Yeah.
for my safety.
It was funny because I was listening to a podcast, Jordan Peterson interviewing an immunologist talking about safety culture and how it has gone way, way too far.
Yeah.
This guy just published a book called Germophobic,
Yeah.
and he was talking about some of the stuff that came before COVID, and then he talked about COVID. And all of it's exactly it, which is basically that in the rush to become more safety conscious,
Yeah.
we have gone way past what is necessary or even healthy
Oh,
into
yeah.
the realm of it's pathological now.
Yeah.
Well-
That's why I like Mike Rowe's safety third motto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the simple fact of the matter is that the mothers of us boomers and Gen Xers,
Yeah.
and should be Gen Xers, understood that children's immune systems need to be stress tested.
Mm-hmm.
Playing with dogs, playing outside, playing in the dirt,
Eating
Yep.
bugs,
Yep.
eating African bugs.
eating mud.
Surprised they weren't eating you back.
No, they were. Just my immune system was better. But now these days, it's like I got a bath when mom could chase me down when I
Yeah.
was a child. I think I got a bath every couple of evenings.
I had an argument, well, not really an argument. I made a snarky comment on a gardening post where the lady was asking why her husband was so mad at her because she was washing all of the vegetables in the house when they came in the house from like grocery stores and stuff with vinegar. And he's evidently the cook, and he was not thrilled with her vinegaring everything.
Yeah.
And she was doing it because that was going to make it safer. And I'm like, safer from what?
Yeah.
I'm both a chemist and a microbiologist. It's not doing anything for either of those.
But these days you got, I was Jim's house. There's this little city lake near Jim's house. Fantastic little city lake. And this little park around it. With walking trails, exercise equipment paid for by the city. And there's play areas for the kids. Very safe. I don't know where the death traps I grew up playing on went,
It's
but
overly groomed, that little park you're talking
yeah,
about.
the slide's like 3 foot tall.
Yeah.
It's not the 24-foot stainless steel slide of death that I grew up
in the metal
Yeah.
in the summer.
in the summer. What? Oh, come off the
That
bottom.
layer of skin, did you?
Come off the bottom. If you're wearing the proper polyester clothes, you came off the bottom off the bottom at Mach 2. Anyway,
And landed in the rocks because all the nice dirt had been scraped away. Yeah.
Anyway, I was watching some young mother. There's a McDonald's nearby, and Rita got me in the habit: go to McDonald's, get something to eat, pop, go to the park, eat it at the park. There's a mother, and she's got a couple of sprogs in one of those strollers, push thingies.
Yeah.
And she's got a bottle of hand sanitizer and a thing of antibiotic wipes on the handles. And every time the kids went up, even without thinking, every time the kids came off the slide or the swing set or whatever, she would grab a antiseptic wipe off the stroller and wipe their hands.
Yeah.
It's like no wonder people are getting sick. Their immune systems don't have a chance.
Well, they don't have an immune system.
No.
I mean, my youngest daughter has 2 kids, 5 and 7 now, 7 and 5, whichever way you want to say that. And one of the women at a park a number of years ago was going to report her to Child Protective Services because she let the kids play in the lake and play in the dirt. Didn't immediately wipe them down.
One of actually differs if she's on here. The woman's a masochist because she hangs out in Facebook mommy groups.
Oh, God.
And then she'll come and tell the rest of us about what
Yeah.
she's hearing from these women. And honestly, I couldn't do it, bless her, but it's telling me some of the absolutely insane stuff
Yeah.
that is common now. I mean, I was never that kind of mom that was going to boil the binky when the kid spit it out.
Yeah.
But I know that that's the common
Yeah.
thing of a first time mom. Is that they're
Differ
that
is
level.
on here.
Ah, good. I figured she would be.
You know what?
She was hiding.
You know
But
what
the thing is though that it's gone so much further than that it's become virtue signaling. It
Yeah.
stopped being about actual safety. And it is that, oh my God, I'm going to be reported to CPS if I don't comply with what the cultural expectations there are, whatever those happen to be.
Carlton says eating dog food seems to add to the child's immune system.
Wish
Yep,
we should
that
stop
works.
food eating. When I was a child, Mom and several of the maternal figures that wandered through our lives, you know what our disinfectant wipe was?
Spit, yeah.
Yeah.
Which actually,
Works.
spit has scientific backing behind it.
So does dog slobber.
Yes, to
Now,
both.
to steal a line from Kelly, I don't know if I stole it from Kelly or Kelly stole it from me, or if we just came up with it at the same time. My immune system attacks squirrels in the backyard.
Yeah.
I have an Africa tested immune system. By God.
What do you think about mine? As much as I've traveled all over the friggin' world.
Oh,
And the stuff that we've eaten over the years. You know, monkey meat on a stick and, off a cart in the middle of friggin' nowhere.
stuff roasted or on a spit on a roadside on a roadside cart.
Differ says, for the record, Cedar referring to me as an adult has ruined my joy. Yeah,
Differs
Bubble
you-
Boy is supposed to be a comedy, not a freaking how-to manual.
Differs, you are the mother of 3 delightful young children. I'm afraid to break it to you. That means you can't be a child yourself.
Yeah.
Seriously,
You might have been a child bride, but that's
I've made the joke multiple times, and I'll do it again. Whenever we came back for that 1 month every year,
Mhm.
Mom always took us to Scott and White for a checkup.
Yeah.
And there, I'd be there. Ding, ding. I had something on my ankles that 3 or 4 years where the doctors looked at it and said, "We don't know what the hell it is, but we're going to try to cure it." It went away on its own 4 years later.
it's Africa.
Yeah.
Probably nobody knew what the hell it was.
Yeah, I hate skin scrapings. Skin scrapings
Yeah.
is
Ow.
yeah. I had my ankle skin because there were these things in my ankles and the skin scrapings, and I don't know what the hell it is, but let's see if this will kill it.
Yeah.
It didn't.
Lisa says, when I was a medic, I used to say my immune system would take on the U.S. Army. And Padre goes, yep, mine too.
And then I've had multiple doctors walk in a clipboard and say, "We don't know what the hell you got. We'll cure it," and wander out. When I signed on with the last county I worked for, I contacted Scott White because I wanted to look at my my medical record. They transferred it to University of Texas Medical Branch in Galveston Tropical Disease Hospital.
And Richard says, have you eaten anything from Seamont Dibbler?
Cut me on throat dibbler?
Yes.
Probably.
Oh, yeah.
From his cousin.
Yeah.
Something gray with tubes on a stick? Hell
Yeah.
yes.
Oh, that
Enough
reminds
hot
me.
sauce? It goes out easy.
I need
Yeah.
to make seek kebabs. I was watching someone on YouTube making seek kebabs, and I got a craving, so I need to do that.
Okay. First, where are you going to catch a Sikh?
Yeah.
Seek is a spice blend.
Okay.
Oh.
I heard Sikh kebabs is like,
Uh,
he's going to put up a fight.
The
Yeah.
spelling on the box I have is Seekh, so there's not an I in there.
We'll catch
You
him.
were
but
thinking the same thing I
yeah,
was.
he's going to put up a
Them
fight.
little suckers are pretty quick with that knife.
Kebabs are. Wait, Sikh kebabs? They carry big, yeah, right? See?
Yeah.
Great minds think alike.
Sikh kebab, they carry big knives. Yes.
Call it rump roast.
Speaking of big knives, another YouTube video because I get so incredibly bored. I have let YouTube just do its own thing on the other monitor. I did not know that you could use your cookery for a bottle opener. Now I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't. I had no idea.
Wall banger. I heard seat kebab. Just call it rump roast.
It's ground meat. Don't ask what kind of meat.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Although
going
it
to
does give me an idea for Saturday.
Oh. No, not going there. Oh, although it would have been amusing. Oh,
I want to go back to one thing Rick was talking about earlier. Oh, back on
you remember earlier? My
yes.
brain's going off like popcorn.
Well, glow sticks.
Oh, they're bouncing everywhere. Squirrels bouncing off the inside of my head right now.
Yeah. But Rick was talking about the smart thermostats.
No.
And I think we actually had that discussion a few months ago. Because is it Colorado? Was it Colorado? Somewhere where
Oh, they were jacking up the.
Yeah, they were jacking up the temperature
Yeah.
automatically.
Right.
And when people would try to adjust it down, they couldn't because in the contract they signed for the smart thermostat for the power company.
Yep.
The power company had control of the temperature in their houses.
Yes. Yes. Now, there's two different kinds of smart thermostats. There's programmable ones, which are fine because they're not connected to anything. They're you telling them when they can go up and down and whatnot. Problem with those is if you put them on a very old system, the old system will go, the heck, I don't know how to do this. I'm just going to keep running and running and running. And then you have to, when the house is like 80 degrees, and you're like, why the heck is it so hot in here? Disassemble the thermostat and the furnace is running and running and running. And you put the old mercury switch, which thank God you did not throw out, back on, and finally the furnace stops.
Yeah.
Does everybody remember the thermostat that was round, gold, had the little ridge clear thing in the middle, and you just you move the little red.
That was called a mercury switch.
And there was a mercury switch in there.
That's all I want.
That's
all I want.
Exactly what we had at the old farm in New Hampshire. We learned the hard way that we could not replace it because the furnace would not recognize anything else.
Richard says a screwdriver and sledgehammer fixes smart thermometers. That's about like people that got the smart water meters.
Oh, and the smart power meters?
Smart power meters, yeah. In California, a lot of places they required them. What the thieves did was to hack into the state database of the power users. And what they were doing was going down and seeing whose power use dropped off. And they're going, okay, we're going to rob that house.
Yeah, because nobody's home.
And that went on for well over a year, and PG&E still has not admitted they got hacked.
Well, I don't like the fact that if you have a smart power meter, the government go, oh, we're kind of running a little on the edge of power. We'll cut off these guys.
I'm laughing.
They do that.
No, I know.
I'm laughing because about a week ago, Sanford's sitting out on the front porch, and the meter reader pops around the corner of the house, and he's like, I'm sorry, I couldn't read the meter. So if you guys get a wild bill, this was for our natural gas, ignore it. Don't pay it. He says, because I don't know how well the automatic reader went, but you have ants. Your meter is infested with ants, and I wasn't going to get in there and try to read it. So evidently we're going to have our meter replaced because there are ants.
Oh, joy, in the meter.
In the meter. Evidently there's a big old ant nest in there.
Whoops.
We have since gotten our bill, and it's within normal parameters, so I'm not worried about it. But
we don't normally notice our gas meter reader. About 6-7 years ago, I was working midnight shifts and very polite knock on the door, and open up, and there's a guy in a white gas. He got the white shirt and the jeans and the hard hat, and one side of his face is swelling up.
Oh no!
And I said, "Can I help you?" And he said, "Did you know you have wasps on your gas meter?" I went,
"Oh no!
No!
Oh boy!
Could you take care of that before next month?" Yes.
Well, Sanford, they evidently told Sanford was like, "Do we need to do anything?" And he's like, "No, we're just going to replace the meter." So
there was a wasp nest when I pulled the cover off. There was a wasp nest that was that big around.
Oh my gosh, that poor guy.
Yeah. He would have tapped it. And assholes with wings everywhere.
Yes.
I said, one side of his face was.
Oh
Yes.
no.
Yeah. Yeah, Rick
Yeah.
brings up a good point. Power meter in the control device. There are load control receivers that do the remote contact. And my daughters in California have found that out the hard way when they get 15 minutes notice that, oh, your power's going to be off for 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And it may or may not come back on 3 hours later,
Yeah. Yeah.
which is interesting because SMUD, which is Sacramento,
Mm-hmm.
is not on the California network.
Yeah. Nobody thought that one through.
Oh, they thought it through very well.
No, SMUD.
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 Yeah.
They didn't think through SMUD.
Sacramento
Municipal Utility Department.
District. Yeah.
Smud.
But they, yeah, but they very seldom lose power in Sacramento.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of the state,
Yeah.
literally hours. I have been out there when Celesta and her husband lost power for 8 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Plugged the generator in, ran it for 4
Yeah.
just to keep everything going.
Yeah.
The warnings kept coming out saying your power will go off at and come back
Uh-huh.
on at.
Uh-huh.
And we watched that time go screaming right on by just like a
Yeah.
deadline.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And it's gonna get to the point, especially out in California, where buying a generator, a gen set they're going to discourage the gen sets.
Well, I mean, they're already
They're trying to outlaw. They're
anything
outlawing.
with gas engines.
Yeah, any
including
small gas
lawnmowers.
engine. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what they expect from
Madness.
people.
Madness.
They're not moored in reality any longer.
Oh
Yeah, it's John brings up a good point. In California, you're no longer allowed to buy a generator.
Oh, go.
Which means that there's a brisk business in driving them in from over the border. I'm sure.
Nevada, yes.
And man, I've got the sudden hankering to go to Atwoods, buy every generator they've got, and make a flying road trip to California.
Folks, we didn't write Cal Exit as a how-to.
Boy, somebody in California decided that was a how-to manual.
Well, my story in Calexit is actually based on conversations that I can remember my parents and
Oh, yeah.
friends having about Jefferson when I was not as tall as this table is. So that conversation has been going on for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it wasn't new even then.
This push, driven by the millennials and the Gen Zers, this push for more smart stuff, I look at that honestly is more government control.
Well,
I
and
will say that there's some pushback happening. I mean, there's some weird. There's
Zeb
some
said-
weirdness going on right now with the whole AI. Yeah.
Zeb says in California, we have to go to Nevada to buy all sorts of things.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure there's shops set up right on the other side of the
They're
border.
doing land rush business too.
No, Raptor, we're not going to do another Cal Exit anthology. Thought about it, but it's too damn close to reality now.
Right now, Racktours hip deep in anthologies.
Yeah.
Well, that would be a gym thing though. Because Calexit.
Raptor, you are the unusual one in the group.
Ouch.
the only unusual one. I mean, I don't know that we can claim that. For
Well,
Raptor.
he's a millennial, but even my daughters. Of course, my daughters are not millennials. Both of them are looking around, going, "Where in the hell are these people coming from? Do they not understand?"
No, they don't.
Yeah.
They have no connection with reality.
Ben,
will-
I published it under JLCNA. It's on. Go if you really want to read it. It's.
See a copy of it somewhere.
I think it's up on the top shelf.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, it's there's an interesting story behind that one anyway. Yeah, it was.
After always.
That was a result of LibertyCon.
That doesn't narrow it down much.
Well, it was a side conversation started by Tom
Yep.
Rognaby.
Yep.
And you and me.
Oh, no, this drive towards streaming everything and having everything as a service rather than outright owning it concerns me. It really does, and it's driven. I'm sorry, Raptor. It's driven by the millennials. Millennials like having all their movies streaming, all their music streaming, everything.
Yeah.
They want everything streaming.
So yes and no. So it's driven by the millennials, yes, but actually it's not because they like having it all streaming. It's less expensive that way.
No, actually, Wally, it wasn't. That was the strange part.
It's less expensive short term, long
No.
term. It's
I know that, but
Yeah.
they're young. I mean,
Well,
ooh, there was the mama voice. Whoa.
oh, God. I'm
There you
just
go.
going to sit
Ouch.
over here and be quiet.
There went the mama voice. Damn.
I have a teenager that I am trying to counsel into fiscal responsibility right now.
Good luck with that.
He's gonna own a car here real soon now,
Yeah.
but he's not gonna own
Well-
it until he can afford to pay the taxes and registration on it.
The reality is, the people that are driving it are not the millennials per se. It's people like Eric Schmidt.
Who the hell's Eric Schmidt when I give a damn?
He was the CEO of Google.
So what it is it's a huge cash cow.
Yes.
I left Adobe, which is the premier for graphic design.
Yeah.
I left them. Well, I left them for two reasons. One was that they screwed me hard
Yeah.
on InDesign, but the other was that the subscription model I didn't like and I couldn't afford.
Yeah.
Affinity Suite. I have a full university license for Affinity Suite, which is the bulk of my graphic design these days, and I make money from it. So I'm using it professionally. That was $100 for that license, and I own this version. Now, when they version up, which will probably happen in 4 or 5 years, I will have to buy another license.
Yeah.
But I'm good with that because I want them to get paid and do what they're going to do.
But the point is, Eric Schmidt and his group
Mm-hmm.
control so much of what is being done with AI,
Yep.
with various government organizations, government policies. These people have their fingers in everything,
Mm-hmm.
and they are the ones that are really controlling the push to go, no, we will lease it to you, you don't own it.
Right, because it's a fiscal model.
It's a fiscal
It's
model
making them money,
that exactly.
and it's not only making them money, but they maintain complete control over it.
Yeah.
So it's money, it's control, it's power. It goes
Yeah.
back to the base level of this is what humans do.
Do you know what the highest, and this is a question for the group, you know what the highest profit margin product is in the world?
Sex.
Nope. See if anybody, nope.
Prostitution.
Rafter is close, but it's not quite that. Ice. Nope. Nope.
Okay.
The highest value profit margin is software.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean,
I still think prostitution probably.
well, software, because it takes a fair amount of time and skill to develop the initial.
But once they develop it,
Right. There's not really anything else going into it
Yeah.
other than marketing.
47% profit is the standard on software.
Speaking of
And
Google,
if you lease, that profit margin goes up.
Oh, yeah.
And it's up around 70%, around 70% on lease software.
I can do you one better than that, though.
Well, Lisa says prescription meds,
some of them.
some of them.
So I can actually do you one better than that, which is organic produce.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
The markup on that is up to 177% more than its conventional thing.
That's true, but the people that make it don't get the profit.
Now, somebody is.
It's the middlemen.
Yeah, I know. Same with the software too.
No,
The people that make the software aren't getting. They're getting paid well, yes.
the corporations are the ones.
The corporations are the middlemen in this case. They're not the programmers and the developers.
I wouldn't call them the middlemen because they're the ones that are paying for the development of the product and then turn around and selling it.
Yeah.
Whereas middleman is buying from one
The
person.
people that grow the produce are essentially in that same boat, though.
Yes and no.
And most farms these days are corporate farms.
Yeah.
So
Google, Jim mentioned Google earlier. Google is, I don't think they're going to be around much longer. Everything they produce, everything that they've made, for example, Google Trips. I used Google Trips for ages. And Google Trips was this nifty little thing. It would, if you got to Gmail, it involved a hotel stay or a flight, it would collect the information and make you a little file in one spot that would have your phone, your plane tickets, your hotel reservation, everything. They did away with it.
yeah,
And
they've done away with a lot of things because if it doesn't have a good enough profit margin, they're not supporting it.
so, you've got Google Trips has gone away. Blogger, which was a Google product. It's
Well, here's
pretty hard.
the thing: is that Google is looking at what makes them money versus what doesn't make them money, and when it doesn't make them money, they cut their losses and drop it and move on to the next thing. Google's not going away. Google is moving into other directions.
Well, they
and doing
became
different
Alphabet for that
things.
reason.
Right.
yeah, but I've discovered this because I went to my Google Trips app on my phone and found it that, you need to use Google Travel now. Google Travel doesn't do that. All Google Travel does is recommend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I'm not using Google for any of that anymore.
Yeah.
I don't use Google for any of my blogging anymore. I don't use it for any of my travel. I'm fixing to switch everything over to Proton Mail because the Gmail is becoming a pain in the ass. And all this shutting things down, it's saving them money, but it's losing money in the long term because I'm not using the product anymore.
Yeah.
There's no Google products I'm going to use once they've gotten screwed out of, they've had one thing work really well. They screwed me out of it. I'm not using anything else from Google for that.
Well, but you're the product.
Oh, I know.
They're selling you. Good point there. Google and Facebook are the only two advertisers on the internet now. Yahoo made the mistake of not going with advertising. Netscape made the same mistake years ago. And they're gone. Blogger, part of the issue, Rick, is the fact that Google is going back and taking down previous posts from Blogger.
Mm-hmm.
I've gotten 3 or 4 warning notices from Google that they've taken down some of my previous posts, which is fine. I don't give a shit because I moved everything over to WordPress a long time ago.
Yep. That's here recently. I moved mine to WordPress.
Yeah.
And this is a mistake. This is a mistake on Blogger's part.
Sorry, Raptor.
What?
Never mind.
This is where the mistake on Blogger / Google's part is. There's a whole bunch of people like me, and I think I made Google quite a bit of money.
Yeah.
I'm not going to anymore.
Yeah.
Well,
you de facto are, because they're still selling you. You're still a product to them. And you will be as long as you're on the web in any way, shape, form, or fashion.
Well, I'm fixing to pay a great deal of money to have my presence on the web yanked.
Yeah.
Not to Google.
Yeah. Yeah, John, that's true. Being an old fart, I remember the early days of the interwebs and the early days of computers and PCs.
Oh, GeoCities, Angel Fire, gone.
CompuServe.
It's like, what was the predecessor, the big social media predecessor to Facebook? MySpace.
Yeah.
MySpace evidently still exists, but I was never on it, so
yeah,
I don't really Wasn't my thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
58's another one.
Everybody, everybody talking about the,
I think,
Google will always be here.
No,
They said that
Google
about
won't.
MySpace.
LiveJournal's
won't.
fairly new by comparison.
right.
But I'm talking about the early days. There were multiple DOS companies and programs out there. And Microsoft was not the best one by a long shot.
No.
There was a company out of Santa Clara called DR DOS, Digital Research DOS. They were actually head and shoulders better than Microsoft. But they did not, DR DOS, John remembers it too. They did not have the accountants and the other people to fend off Microsoft stealing their product, repackaging it, and then suing DR DOS for, believe it or not, patent infringement
Oh no!
for something they didn't own to start with,
Bill,
and that they had stolen from IBM. Microsoft stole it from IBM.
oh no! Bill Gates is a dirty, rotten son of a bitch. Who
Always has
guessed
been.
that one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. CPM, yeah. If you go back that far, Xenix. Yeah, there were a lot of good operating systems. Oracle, bunk. Oracle, Larry Ellison,
Been into the gin and tonics.
yeah, built a great program, a great system. It worked well. But he made the mistake of crossing the wrong people when there were some meetings at Stanford. And he basically got hung out to dry. He's still a billionaire, but it cost him a lot of money and time to get his own company back. Andreessen, who was one of the founders of Netscape, basically said F this and walked away from it. And he was one of the most brilliant programmers around in the 70s.
To be honest, I've often had the F this and walk away from it urge too.
Yeah. Yeah, CPM had users. That's right. And you get into the Unix world, BSC, Berkeley Standard, back before Berkeley went bat nuts.
Remembering that my sum total of computer experience is sacrificing a bucket of KFC to the Magic Elf box. So y'all are Unix.
Michael, that's a great point. MS-DOS was originally a port of an operating system named 86-DOS from Seattle Computer Products. That's right. That was pre-IBM buying it and then basically letting it languish when they were not sure whether or not they wanted to go into the PC market, because there was a lot of discussion inside IBM whether mainframe or small PC, because they were splitting up divisions. Yeah.
Again, Magic Elf box.
Well, I would almost ask for raised hands, but I know how many people in the chat would raise their hands. SCO Unix box learned in the office. Why am I not surprised, Michael? PathWorks, yeah. PathWorks on VMS. But how many people still know how to write a config file and an auto-exec bat? And how many know how to go in and rewrite your BIOS?
I can get 150 yards out of a monkey with an air cannon. Allegedly. Creative articulation.
I know. I know we got over your head, sorry. And a bunch of people going, yep, raises hand. Yeah, Radio Shack computers with their overhead on Windows OS, yeah. Fans are dying because the plastic's drying out. Michael, you can get new fans. Yes.
Yeah, fans are not hard to replace.
Yeah.
Which reminds me, I need to get a can of air because my husband's computer is being wonky again. Like most things in life, if you clean it out, it generally runs better.
Yeah. Oh, ag debugs. Yeah.
1,000 psi nitrogen cylinder, on-off valve, one monkey.
Speaking of nitrogen, I was watching a lady with a freeze dry dill pickle chips.
Okay.
Okay.
Hamburger
Got some of those
slices.
somewhere.
And that sounds good.
It's not bad.
Yeah, DOS would run real fast on today's computers. Actually, if you were running Microsoft, DOS 3.0 still works. You can still go in on a Microsoft computer.
DOS boot.
What's
Good movie.
fun is to get one of the little itty bitty Raspberry Pis, which are about the size of those patches you're holding, and boot those up and run something on them. My son was doing that, and that was
Now I'm laughing at Ag Tiger. He says, the fact that I can still remember the exact address.
Did we talk about when Ben Yellow brought the internet in a book to us?
Yeah. I think we did. Yeah, Ben.
That was fun.
Ben and I were talking one time when he came up here for supper and got to talking about the old days of the internet and Milnet and ARPANET and a few other things. And the next time Ben came up, he brought a copy
Of the address book.
of the address book for
the
every
entire-
sysadmin in the entire internet. And it was only about,
At one time.
It was not a big book.
it was not an inch thick.
No, I mean it was 8.5 by 11, but
Yeah.
it wasn't very thick.
Yeah. Pfeiffer, DOS can still boot your PC if you set it to legacy mode. Yes, it can. I know we're losing
Poor
you.
Ian. But I mean, this is kind of the thing too. It's just because I grew up for a good chunk of my childhood in Alaska with no electricity. So for computers, I came to fairly late.
Yeah.
But we talk about the smart houses and how kids these days do these things, and I'm like, my kids have never lived a life where there was no internet.
Yeah.
So for these kids, it's as much a part of their environment as water is to a fish.
Yeah.
They're not thinking about who the cloud belongs to. They're just like, this is what I need to do to get on in life. They have to learn how to use computers. They have to learn the basics of this, that, and the other thing.
Wow.
Ag says, yeah, some of us have threatened the magic elf boxes with soldering irons for years. There's no helping us. We're lost causes. Yeah. We're dinosaurs.
The last time we were going to go anywhere out of state,
BOFH rocks. Yeah.
North Carolina, I walked into a local truck stop and I wanted to get the laminated state maps.
Yeah.
That they used to sell. There used to be a spinning rack of laminated state.
Yeah.
And
You can get them.
yeah, you have to order them from the manufacturer.
Right. Well,
Because when
I
you walk
got-
into Love's and ask, the lady behind the counter will wave her cell phone at you.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was harsh.
Ouch.
Yeah.
I bought laminated maps for Texas and Oklahoma because Sanford and I like to go on long rambly drives through Amazon. And I just picked them up and they shoved them in the glove compartment, and now we have them.
I have a U.S. Army 1980s era map case that I had 50 laminated maps in there and some map markers, map pencils. And every time I had to go get an inmate, I would grab my map bag.
Yeah.
Used to drive the kids nuts.
I love Pfeiffer's comment. I find a sledgehammer works better than a soldering iron. May not function anymore, but damn, I feel better. Yes.
Tannerite. Just saying.
Actually, 308 works great through the hard drive. Yes. Color TV Heath kits. Yep.
I'm actually getting hate. I didn't realize there was a anti-monkey hate coalition out there. I'm actually getting hate mail for my stance on monkeys.
Of course you are. Because you're
There are
not politically
people-
correct.
There are people that are absolutely, positively convinced that we are descended from monkeys, and therefore any dissing the monkeys is dissing humans.
I diss humans too.
And
Yeah.
evolutionarily speaking, that's not correct. We now know.
Trust
But-
me, if I could fire humans out of an air cannon, don't think I wouldn't.
Be a big air cannon.
Have y'all heard about the guys like firing farts with an air cannon?
Yes, yes.
So for those who can't hear her, the lovely Miss Rita just referenced a fart cannon.
Apparently, if you have a so-called loader and a gunner in a vortex air cannon, your loader can load the vortex, and apparently, if the Facebook is believed, you can hit a major in the mouth across the room. Oh God, Raptor's got it. It's in my mouth.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's actually a little bit ironic to call it a load because
It's kind of the point is that
Yeah.
it's the opposite of a load.
because load usually involves payload that's actually tangible.
Yeah.
Especially from that orifice.
Yeah.
There's
Apparently, if you ask the major involved, it was tangible.
there is a meme of one of the Dune characters from one of the various Dune films, and the wording on it is, "With a good enough still suit, you can trust any fart."
Again, it is the prophecy.
Yeah.
Usul is called a big one.
That's
Michael.
what sandworms look like. So
That's right.
Michael says he had hey, damn, I'm old movement a couple of days ago. Well, he went to Home Depot to pick up some EMD conduit, and they were playing Quiet Riot over the store's musical system.
Right. Elevator quiet riot ain't right.
Oh. What do you think I've been putting up with for 20 years
Uh-huh.
or more?
Oh, I amused my husband today because I was playing hardcore Daft Punk.
Backstreet Boys on classic rock.
Look, there are covers of everything out
Oh,
there.
yeah.
Hardcore's actually kind of fun, though.
Yeah.
It is, but Bardcore and Daft Punk just don't go together.
Yeah. Brian says their goal is you will own nothing and you will like it. Yeah.
Well, I'll
They
own,
can go piss up a rope because,
I'll own what I want, and
Yeah.
they can pound
don't-
sand.
They don't want us. They don't want us to own all of our stuff that we use to run our lives. They don't want us to own a vehicle.
Yeah.
We're about to live in that Rush song about the red,
Well, the
whatever it was.
what is it, 15-minute cities?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, my
Yeah.
God.
But they don't want you to live outside of their sphere of control.
Yeah.
what they don't understand is their sphere of control is only the metro messes.
I know.
There's-
Again,
and
they're
that-
not connected to reality.
Yeah, they don't understand their sphere of control is what we allow them to have.
AJ Decker says red barchetta.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that was the first time I realized that there was a science fiction song.
Yep. We're living in a
Blue
science
Oyster
fiction
Cult,
world.
Veteran of the Psychic Wars.
So, Blue Oyster Cult and I came to an acquaintance last year when Dorothy assigned me a playlist as homework because I never listened to any of it.
Veteran of the Psychic Wars was actually written or co-written by Michael Moorcock.
Who's a name I know.
Yep.
All right, folks, we've wasted another hour of your time. Yeah. Ben says this is the ancient nobility with a thin skin. Peasants are not allowed to travel.
Oh,
Yeah,
hell.
fuck that.
This is why we're taking back over the sense of wonder.
Yeah.
Because, yes.
Yes.
I would like to thank all y'all on the chat. You kicked off quite a few memories and a few other things.
And long, involved discussions about DOS. And here I am thinking, if I up the pressure on that air cannon, I could probably get another 100 yards.
Y'all take care of yourselves. Have a good weekend, folks. Be safe.
Y'all be safe.
And if you're in the same weather pattern we are, be prepared to duck.
Yeah, no kidding. Wind just changed directions. I hate it when that happens.
In any case, folks, y'all remember, don't sweat the petty stuff. Don't pet the sweaty stuff. And we'll see you later.
Be safe, guys.
Bye-bye. That was